Bunwalevu as well. Um, Thank God that things are getting back to normal. Ladies and gentlemen, we officially launched our commercial agriculture development programs for Northern Division yesterday morning at Commissioner's office. As you know, that Ministry of Agriculture is pushing for the growth and development and expansion of commercial agriculture. At the same time, we are also ensuring that our households in urban, peri-urban, maritime are secured with respect to food and nutritional security. Ladies and gentlemen, the pandemic that we are passing through have revealed very clearly a number of basic facts. And these are, one, that our backbone of Fiji's economy will continue to be the agriculture sector. Agriculture sector was the mainstay of Fijian economy, and the growth and development of the non-agriculture sector was due to largely the surplus created in the agriculture sector, which was transferred to the non-agriculture sector. There's a number of ways in which the surplus is transferred to the non-agriculture sector. One, direct transfer of profits, where people, the farmers who have created wealth and surplus, will buy properties, open shops in the urban area. So that's a direct transfer of surplus from the agriculture sector to the non-agriculture sector. And 50, 60 years ago, it was agriculture sector that was thriving. The non-agriculture sector's development was because of the money or the surplus created in the agriculture sector. The other way how money created in the agriculture sector, the surplus, is transferred to the non-agriculture sector is through spending. Agricultural households spend in urban area. They spend in movies, spend in supermarkets, spend in clothing shops. So there's a transfer of money. The other sector, other way how money is shifted or transferred from agricultural sector to the non-agriculture sector is through the backward linkage of the agriculture sector. They buy fertilizer from the non-agriculture sector. They buy other inputs from the non-agriculture sector. They buy fertilizer. They buy machinery. So there's a transfer of surplus to the non-agriculture sector. So in this way, agriculture sector's growth and development continue to push the expansion of non-agriculture sector. That doesn't mean that when the non-agriculture sector grows and develops, you can cut off the umbilical cord. No. There is a total interlinked between agriculture to non-agriculture, non-agriculture to agriculture. And in economics, we call it backward and forward linkages. So it clearly demonstrated that agriculture sector will continue to remain a very strong part of the growth of development Fiji sector. It also demonstrated that our strength, our strategic advantage lies in agriculture sector. It also demonstrated that when we have external shocks like natural disasters, financial crises, pandemic like COVID-19, agriculture sector was in our control. It continued to grind. And in fact, in 2020, last year, our agricultural exports went up by 14% in volume and 24% in value. Substantial increase. And this year, the first 6 months, 8% increase from last year's base year. This is a remarkable achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, we announced a number of programs to push our commercial agriculture development program as well as food security. Today, we are honored to be here in Sabsavu to award the recipients of 3 programs: the Commercial Agriculture Development Program, Orchard Development, and Women in Agriculture. Our women folks comprises of 14% of all the farmers in Fiji. The last census revealed that these are the leaders. But 46% of the other farmers are also involve women. So they are one of the key drivers in the agriculture sector. And this year, we decided to dedicate an amount of money to leverage them. So I want to thank all the recipients here today and all the recipients throughout Fiji for this Women in Agriculture Development Program. The Orchards program is basically to address the issue of nutritional security. As I said earlier on, in an absolute term, not in relative terms, in an absolute terms, there's no food security issue in Fiji. In an absolute terms, right? Everyone has food to eat. But the issue that we are confronting with is nutritional security, balanced nutrition. And it is for that reason we want to establish orchards. Orchards mean dedicated plantation of a particular fruit, whether it's dragon fruit, kiwi, breadfruit, iwi, chestnut, guava. Now, two things will happen when you establish orchards. More supply, reduction in prices, and therefore affordable and accessible. Second, we want to export fruits from Fiji. We want to reduce our importation of fruits. $74 million are spent on beverages and food in hotels, hospitality sector. Out of this, fruits only, we're importing 17 million annually. We need to cut down on that. We have the strategic advantage. We have the resources. We have the technology. We have the land. We have the labor. We can grow here. Of course, certain kinds of fruits we may not be able to grow, but we can substitute. Grapes, we can substitute for other fruits. The fruit juice that hotels make, there's no need to use imported fruits to make fruit juice. We can use our own fruits, which are available in abundance during the season. There's mango season, pineapple season throughout the year, watermelon throughout the year. But our mentality has to change. Our hotels has to think local, think and do and resource produce from within. Our chefs need to relook at the menu. Our purchasing officers in these hotels need to rethink about the economy and the country. But we don't want to give them a gap by saying, we're not ready, the supply is not enough. We want to leverage the farmers and ensure that supply is not an issue and not an excuse for them. So we are establishing several orchards throughout Fiji. And we want to leverage the farmers, whether it's mboo for mboo, coconut drink, whether it's from guava, dragon fruit, rambutan, mangosteen. We want to develop orchards. At the moment, most of the fruits are widely available, whether it's breadfruit, mango, etc. We want to establish orchards, dedicated farms or plantation of fruits. We also want to, the third program, we also want to bring in the large amount of unutilized land out there and put them under productive use. I've said that before, that any resource which does not generate any positive return, the value is zero. That's how valuation is done. Ask any valuation company, how do they value resources? If you look at a land, if it's lying idle, it has no value. The value of that piece of land is determined by its ability to generate positive returns. So we want to assist the landowners, assist the Matangalis to bring their land under productive use for them, for their Matangali benefit, for the benefit of the nation and national interest. And therefore, this year we launched this land clearing facility, the program. And we want to congratulate the recipients of that. For the Matangalis, we will clear 5 acres of land, under bush, under tree. Bring the bulldozer, clear it, bring the tractor, prepare it, and provide the planting material. So each Matangali, the recipients, 5 acres is developed for them, and we'll give them planting material. They need to take over from there. For the people in the settlement, 1.5 acre will be done. Matangalis 5 acre because they've got a large number of households, depending on that. So we're looking at utilizing the vacant land, putting them under agriculture, and boosting agriculture production. During the pandemic, prices of vegetables started to go up. People came to us asking that we should regulate prices. we don't regulate vegetable prices. So we can, but we don't want to. We don't want to willy-nilly interfere in market operations. So the way to deal with converging the prices in the market is to push supply, push production and get supply. And it'll bring down prices. And that's how we brought down prices. For eggplant used to cost about $6, $7. A bag of eggplant from Singotoka used to cost about $80. So we, when the consumers complained about vegetable prices, high vegetable in the market, so we questioned the vendors. Vendors said, Minister, middleman. We spoke to the middleman. Said, Minister, the Boda, these guys come from Belly Road, Singotoka, they sell it at that price. What do we do? If I buy it in $80, you want me to sell it $70, Minister? I said, no, you can't. We don't want anyone to go in loss. So that was a temporary period where we had borders, people did play around. So we said, look, we will not interfere. But we said to them, if you continue to manipulate prices, then we will get, through IMA, set up our table and sell prices, and your prices will come down and match with them. But we allowed them at that particular point in time, everyone, see, the market is about understanding the business cycle. The business cycle is a cycle. It's never a flat, curve. So we have put prices under control. So I want to thank the farmers, the middlemen, the vendors, and the consumers for their understanding. Markets will eventually converge. That's the rule in economics. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to congratulate all the recipients here today, and I want to thank you for supporting us during this pandemic, supporting the households in the urban area. You've done tremendously well, and we need to continue to expand agriculture in your interest, in the interest of all those who are involved in agriculture sector. And I've always said that when agricultural surplus grows, then the benefit will trickle down to all those people who are involved in that, whether through provision of labor, whether through provision of labor, higher wage rates, provision of land, higher rental rates, provision of finance, higher interest rates, and the household, the farmer making profit. So the more and more people get involved, and more people will share that gain, that surplus that's created. And we need to tap into the surplus created not only within Fiji, but also in Australia and New Zealand by exporting our produce. And that's exactly what we are doing. And we now see more and more people converging and become an exporter. And for them to be successful, we need to produce and give it to them. And they're willing to take the risk, invest in the containers, the refrigerators, the processing plant, and they are doing it. And that's why I gave the numbers, that 2020, our exports increased by 14% in volume. When I talk about volume, then I remove the inflationary effect, so in real terms. And this year, 8%. So thank you very much, and we're looking forward to continue to export. We need to move and transfer the surplus created in Australia and New Zealand by those consumers buying our produce. And secondly, we don't want to withdraw our export and feed it to the tourism sector. We need to grow more. So we continue to feed the tourism sector, but we don't want to reduce our exports because we want to transfer that surplus there into our country for our growth and development. Thank you, Vinaka.
To the Honorable Minister and to all you are here today. We, the farmers, would like to thank you for this initiative, and especially for us women on trying to build up in whatever farming programs we have in our own little villages. We are grateful and we thank the Lord for giving us this opportunity. We know the whole of Fiji, most of them have applied, and we are grateful for being one of the recipients. Once again, big vinakavakali to you, Honorable Minister, and to the government.